Hi guys. So today I'm here to talk to you about why you shouldn't be feeling like crap on Valentine's Day, okay? Because I'm not. You shouldn't either, okay? So I'm here to just read you some absolute filthy, in a bad way, horror, worst dating stories ever, you know, just so you realize that you really shouldn't be dating at all. Maybe the right guy is out there, or girl, or whatever, but you know, I've been single for 3 years and I've just come to realize that it's just not worth it, like, at all. Just I haven't even been on many dates. It's just all stuff I see online, and why would you bother wasting your time and energy on someone who is just gonna disappoint you? So, you know, there's plenty of fish in the sea, and unfortunately the fish are dying, and you know, only all the bad, evil, scammer fish are left. You know, let me know if by the end of this video you feel even a little bit better about being alone on Valentine's Day. And by the way, also, Valentine's Day is a capitalist holiday, okay? They just want to make money off you. You can show your love to your partner any day of the week, okay? But if you're single, if you are, don't feel bad. Honestly, don't feel bad. I used to feel bad when I was younger, but now I don't, because I've been in relationships that sucked ass, okay? Like, I mean, they haven't wiped my butt in a week, even though I've taken like a million shits ass, like, disgusting. It's just not worth it. And unless you find, you know, the person that doesn't make you, just doesn't drain all your energy and life from you just by existing, then maybe, you know, maybe then consider. But you know, apart from that, let's all go through some absolute terrible horror stories from dating, okay? And I'll be great, and you're gonna feel so much better. So let's get into it. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could like this video and also subscribe to my channel, and I'll leave all my socials down below if you want to follow me on TikTok and Instagram and all that good stuff. But I'd really appreciate it. So thank you, and let's go. First one, here we go. Went out on a date with a guy that asked for my number while I was at work. He was cute, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Well, he took me to a Waffle House and proceeded to say, "Why did you come out with me? For all you know, I could have a dead hooker in my trunk right now." I nervously laughed and tried to get out of there as fast as I could. Why would you say that? Is this one of those things where like the guy tries to be like super self-aware, like, you should be careful, it's not safe out there, you know, men, like all this stuff? I'm hoping that that's what he was trying to do, because otherwise that was a really, really, really bad way to be like, I'm super self-aware. Well, it wasn't funny. Someone goes, he was trying to be funny. It wasn't. Not at all. Like, I would have been like texting my friend under the table like, hey, bitch, please help. Okay, this one is questionable. He told me my dad was the reason my dad had colon cancer, and only people that like getting pounded in the ass get colon cancer. He did not get a second date. So having colon cancer makes you gay? That's an interesting theory I've never considered before. Any gay people want to chime in on this theory, you know? But seriously, that is actually, that's not even funny. That's messed up. Which I guess, listen, if you go out there, you might meet a guy like this that's gonna be super insensitive, make fun of your parent who almost died. Okay, this is a bit of a longer one. I met up with this guy at a restaurant. Conversation is going well, up until we order. He then excuses himself and is gone for a seriously long time. I thought he just left, and I was considering paying the bill and ditching out too. Maybe 10 minutes later, he walks back in with bloodshot eyes. I thought he went out and smoked, which is a deal breaker for me, so I knew the rest of the date was pointless. Then he apologized for his absence and told me I ordered the same dish as his ex, and he got emotional and went and cried in his car. Seriously, I ordered chicken Alfredo, pretty common meal. Needless to say, this was a first and last date. This is, I guess, you know, at the beginning of this video it was super harsh, but I feel kind of bad for this guy. You still shouldn't date though, but I think if I was super heartbroken from like a relationship, I probably wouldn't go out on a date with someone new if like something like that made them cry. Like, you know, like I'm on a date and my date drinks water and I'm just like, my ex used to drink water too. It's too hard. If you're getting triggered by that shit, it's too soon to date. Once while I was making out with a guy, he asked me, "Your hair is natural, isn't it?" And at the time it was, so I said yes. And then the next 10 minutes, while he was still trying to kiss me, he kept talking about how his ex-girlfriend's hair was so short and so damaged from dyeing it all the time, and she always had crazy colors in it. He then started like petting my hair and saying how much he loved long natural hair. Needless to say, I sobered up and left pretty quickly. It's been 3 years now and he still winks at me every time he sees me. Ugh. Oh, that's so creepy. Also, seriously, what is with guys? Sorry, it's just a common theme. What is with them? I know this isn't exactly what this guy said, but like he's verging in that territory. When guys are like, I don't like unnatural hair colors. It's like, yeah, fair enough. Like, you know, Becky over there isn't really a blonde, right? Or it's kind of when they say they like natural makeup, but really they just mean I want you to look cute and put together, so I can't tell you have makeup, even though I, you know, I have brow gel and concealer and blush on. They're just like, I just want it natural. How about you wipe your ass, okay? It's a thing. Guys don't seem to want to wipe their ass. But seriously, it's like, next time I'm gonna date a guy, which probably won't be soon, I'm gonna get them a bidet for Christmas. One of those handheld ones, just like squirted in your ass. Because otherwise, skid marks. Just skid marks. Imagine going on a date with a guy and then coming back, you know, to hook up with them, and they take off their underwear and you see skid marks. Like, that's an instant deal breaker. It's just like, how do I leave this situation? You know? This is another one. After the date, he was driving me home, did a stupid illegal move and got pulled over. He decided to run away from the police with me in the car. He tried to pull into a driveway and hide, but they found us. Anyway, they put us both in handcuffs while they searched the car. They ended up giving me a ride home and took him to jail. Apparently it was a stolen car. I never saw him again, as he was extradited to another state for outstanding warrants. That was so exciting. I mean, whatever your idea of fun is, at least this girl had a good time, you know? She didn't take herself too seriously. But, you know, going on a date with a felon is definitely a new, you know, it's kind of like a bucket list for bad dating stories. That definitely tops the pyramid, you know what I mean? I think, okay, this is a bit of a longer one, but I see the word slut and bitch, so this should be a good one. This happened when I was studying abroad, walking home one day around 9 to 10 p.m. after having dinner night out with a few classmates. This guy approaches me and starts talking to me. Seemed pretty harmless. You know, if a guy approaches you at night, red flag. I'm sorry, it's just, you should know not to do that. Anyway, just saying. And he asked me for a date. Okay, guy approaches you at 10 p.m. at night in the dark. You don't know him, and he asks you on a date? It's just, I guess I could see how this could be harmless in a really rare situation, but if that happened to me, I'd be like, no. At that time, I was pretty young and into the whole giving a chance to anyone who was brave enough to ask. He was unattractive, but I didn't want my shallowness to stand in the way of going on a potentially nice date. Girl, okay. Anyway, we meet up and go on this date, a walk in the park. Did this happen at night too? Because you should have seen it coming. And he turns out to be a complete psycho. What did I say? It started off normal with him talking about his travel experiences and such. Eventually, we find a patch of grass to sit on and he's basically giving me the blue steel look. You know, I'm not extremely familiar with that, but I'm guessing it's the you know, smoldering eyes that guys like to give. It's just so cringy. It's okay, no, sorry, I just can't not interrupt this story. He starts giving me the blue steel look the entire time and I'm trying to be nice and not laugh. Appropriate reaction. He asks if he could kiss me and I tell him that I'm not comfortable with that and he just goes insane. Eventually it ends up with me trying to get away from him, and as he follows me slurring insults about how I'm slut and a bitch. And me telling him that he's disgusting and needs to F off. I think he had some mental issues because he left and ran back a few times asking for forgiveness. And saying that he fucked up and that he loves me, wanted to marry me, wanted to have sex with me. I think I bolted from the conversation as soon as he proclaimed with such conviction that he will have sex with me. This guy said, I will have sex with you. I will sleep with you. Basically, you don't have a choice. Funny and ridiculous at the time, but horrifying in retrospect. I also walked around for an hour in circles and random routes to make sure he would never know where I live. Okay, girls, guys, gays, everyone under this beautiful sun, if someone approaches you at night, you know, any decent person, unless, you know, you're in some, maybe you met a guy at a festival, you know, you're drinking with all your friends and it's a place where a lot of people are, but if you approach someone at 10 p.m. at night asking them for a date, this guy is just giving me nice guy complex vibes. He's very much like, I'm such a sweet guy, you owe me sex. Listen, this is the best one so far, and this is the perfect reason why you should never ever 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 go on a date ever again. It's enough for me, you know. The chances of this happening, you know, are kind of, thing is, they're not even low. The chances of this happening are like 1 in 5. 1 in every 5 guys probably gonna be a psycho. I'm just kidding, not to be mean, but I mean, come on, you know, it's hard out there, and you know, if you want to go through this, by all means go for it, you know, go for it. If you know, I don't have that much patience, and also I have too much social anxiety, so this one I have a personal vendetta against blowjobs. I said it. This story starts at the end of a dinner date that I was so happy was almost over. My date pulls over the car and poorly attempts to make out. I just hate it when it's not natural and they just don't seem to get it. I was not feeling it whatsoever. I figured when he brings me in for a kiss, I will politely give a friendly hug and ask him to take me home. Well, he has his hands gently on the back of my neck and leans me in for a friendly hug, and whoops, he's pushing my head towards his crotch. I'm sorry, like, how do people think that this is appropriate? I just don't understand. It's like, growing up, these people completely just miss the class for common sense. It's like, do you not pick up social cues? It's like, is there a reason? Like, imagine, can you just imagine doing that to someone? Imagine making out with someone, and imagine I was with a guy, and let's say even that we did want to kiss each other. Imagine then taking their head and pulling them. It's just so wrong. So many levels. It's like, do I seem like, it's like you have to play this game of, oh no, like, sorry, and then you're apologizing for what? He's pushing my head towards his crotch. I pull away and think quickly. He worked in a medical lab testing swabs for STDs. I decided to toy with him. I said, I really like you, but before we do this, I have to tell you something. I proceeded to say, I score on the side to help pay my bills, and many of my clients pay more for no condoms, and I oblige. I explained that I want to be honest with him. The look on his face was priceless. He looked at me like I was a walking STD. He says, I think I need to take you home. So get this. Guess who calls me 2 weeks later? Yep, was obviously desperate. You think this girl has an STD and you'd still rather have sex and risk having an STD? It's just, this is so wrong on so many levels. I can't barely wrap my head around it. That's why I don't give dating the time of day. And the fact that you have to apologize and be like, or think of like this, yeah, it's funny, but I can never help but feel annoyed and serious about stuff like this, because it's like, this girl had to make up a story to not make things awkward. And like, yeah, she could have, I guess with a normal person, you know, they'd be like, yeah, I completely understand, but a normal person would have probably read the social cues and not tried to make you give them a oral. Like, what? You know, we have to stop giving these people excuses and just be like, no, sorry, no, not even sorry. See, it's coming out. This is a short one. Guy told me we couldn't see each other anymore as I wasn't into his fitness lifestyle and didn't enjoy going to the gym after work. Homeboy had a double chin and a gut. I work until 7-8 p.m. most nights, so just getting home before 9 p.m. was luxury, let alone the gym. Cue his slightly strange text 4 months later asking me for forgiveness for how things ended. We'd been on 4 dates before the fitness lifestyle chat. Bullet dodged. Thank God. I get the whole lifestyle thing, but don't shit on other people if you yourself are not, you know, a model. Like, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with a gut and a chin. You know, girls especially, we love dad bods. It's just, it's a known thing, by the way. So, okay, like, great. You go get ripped, dude. Sorry, I skim through them before I read them. Sometimes I'm a little late here, but went on 3 dates with a guy I met online. At least I thought they were dates, okay? He thought we were having insurance consultation. How? I appreciate his creative business techniques, I guess. Edit. We met on OkCupid. How? How do you... What? Another person who lacks common sense. What? You know, there's some crazy people out there. And unfortunately, sometimes you're gonna run into a few of them. So don't date. A guy... Okay, there's another one. A guy once told me on a first date that he had promised his therapist he would tell me something. He then tells me that he's recovering from a debilitating porn addiction. He was getting a PhD in computer science. That was our first and last date. Listen, we have psychos. We have serial killers. We have porn addicts. Don't date. Don't bother dating. Why would you even feel bad about being alone on Valentine's Day if this is what's out in the world? We all deserve a lot better than this. But really, this is all fun and funny and jokes, and this has definitely lifted my mood. Say it with me. It's better to be alone than to settle. I know I'm holding out for somebody that will just make my life easier. And maybe that sounds bad, but I just mean I feel quite content in my life, while, you know, obviously everyone has like, I want this and I want this, and you know, I'm worried about like, what career am I gonna have? You know, I feel like I'm getting older, all this crap. But that aside, I feel quite content in what's going on in my life, and I feel quite peaceful, and you know, I don't need someone to completely drain me, because that's how it's felt in the past. And even if it hasn't been terrible, it's just like bleh. And like, why would you want that? You want someone you feel great around, and someone that makes you feel good about yourself, and someone that's nice and lovely and also has some common sense, okay? Someone who won't push your head down to their crotch, and someone who won't call you slurs at the park on a date just because you didn't want to kiss them, you know? You know, the right guy won't leave during your dinner at a restaurant to cry about his ex. Nothing against anyone, but let's all hold out for someone who's special to us, as cheesy as that sounds. Say it with me again. It's It's better to be alone than to settle. Get comfortable with being alone. I definitely used to feel like it's hard to be alone, but now it feels so good. It feels better than any relationship that I've ever had. Work on a relationship with yourself and stop settling for these mediocre people that add literally nothing to your life except for stress. And shall I list it again? But yeah, I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope that this video makes you smile at least a little bit. And you know, not everything's that bad. Buy yourself some takeout, some Chinese food, some chocolate, watch a good movie that you love, hang out with your friends. Now I'm just blabbing on, but I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!